Hello and welcome to the match review of the Manchester United and Cambridge game in the FA Cup replay that's just finished 3-0. While Mata got the scoring underway, Marcus Rojo got a second in the first half, and then we got one more in the second half through a substitute from James Wilson. Now the team selection was a bit of a controversial one. Well, it looked like that from the start of the game. There was some decisions which Louis van Gaal made which could have been questionable. We did get the win. Obviously, it's against lesser opposition, so it wasn't a game against the top Premier League side. But I don't know what your thoughts are on the format. Well, the formation. I wasn't sure what it was going to be at first. If it was going to be back to the 3-5-2 or what it was going to be. You never know with Louis van Gaal, but a few of his decisions were a bit questionable on where players were playing as well. I don't know what your thoughts are on the team selection.
I don't know. It was just like, a little inconsistent. I would have never have put Fellaini up top and thought that we were going to try and, bang balls into him. Rooney played on the right side of the diamond, Di Maria on the left. It was just weird. It was just strange. It was a replay against lower league opposition, and it went exactly how the first leg should have went. We dominated. It was kind of, wasn't anything super exciting. The game was over after the first goal. But I don't know. It was just one of those games where it's just kind of, expected. Nothing too exciting. I don't think anybody really stood out. There's a couple of players who had decent games. But nobody really stood out, and a lot of people were upset about Ander Herrera not starting, but who knows?
Yeah, I thought some of his team selection was a bit odd. Having Fellaini up front, we're going to look like playing. It's not Manchester United soon, and it's Stoke lumping balls up to Fellaini, but I don't really know what his idea was, though it did. Fellaini was up the top and did assist the first goal, but I'm not too sure because I think Wayne Rooney's definitely better further forward. He hasn't scored now for quite a few games, which is a bit of a worry, but I really would like to see Wayne Rooney back up front because over the years he has scored a lot of goals for us. He's one of the top Premier League goal scorers of all time, so it is a bit odd to see him keeping his place in midfield. But I don't know what your thoughts are on the Ander Herrera one, because it just doesn't seem like he's ever going to give him a starting place in this team at the moment. We paid, I can't remember the exact fee, but over 30 million. Yeah,
like
for him.
31.
Yeah, and that's a decent amount of money, and it's a shame to see that at this moment in time he doesn't seem to fancy playing him for whatever reason. And in the summer we're probably going to get at least one more midfielder in. So maybe his days are going to come to an end. I don't know what your thoughts are. Do you think his days
Well,
come to an end?
I was thinking about this, and even today, you look out there, and you had Fellaini, you had Rooney, Mata, and you can even say Di Maria. They're all the same. They're all number 10 creative types. And Ander Herrera is no different than them. Ander Herrera and Juan Mata are so similar. And in fact, Ander Herrera played more as a number 10 in his last season at Bilbao. So he's going to have to do a lot more than what he's been doing in training to get into this team. The rumors are that he's late to training, or he was. Then you have the match-fixing scandal and everything like that. Yeah, we've seen him go on the pitch, against lesser opposition, do pretty well. And people were saying, he came on today and got an assist, but it was Cambridge United, and James Wilson did most of the work for him to get that assist. And I thought the goalkeeper could have saved that. So people go, oh, he's on for 2 minutes, he gets an assist, great. But, there's a reason he's not playing. Louis van Gaal isn't just going to not play him because he wasn't his signing. That's a load of crap. He has to do more in training, I'm guessing. None of us are in the team meetings. None of us are in training. We don't actually see what goes on behind the scenes. Louis van Gaal, I know he's stubborn, but he's not. If Ander Herrera was so good that he was undroppable, and Louis van Gaal was just doing this because he was stubborn, then you really need to reevaluate yourself and our situation. I don't think that's the case. I think, he hasn't done anything to stand out completely from the others, and more so, Wayne Rooney's a little bit more physical than him, and I can see that if you would have played, Ender Herrera today with Daley Blind and Di Maria and Juan Mata as the diamond, that's a pretty featherweight midfield, and a whole, and it just wouldn't work against most other teams. But I don't know. It's interesting. You could go on all day and talk about it. But my personal opinion, I want him to play, but I don't want him, out there if he's not, doing the right things off the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. We just don't know what the problems are there. But he has looked okay when he's played. I mean, it is still only his first season in English football, and sometimes some of these players from abroad do take a bit of time to get used to the English game. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty comfortable victory in the end. I mean, they didn't really cause us too many problems. It was a bit of a scare in the first half when they actually hit the post. If they'd gone one goal up, this game could have been completely different. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I mean, it wasn't the best of defending.
No,
We could have defended that a lot better.
Yeah, that was a pass to let the player in. And had he not slipped, that could have been 1-0, and it could have been different, but it was always comfortable, Other than that, I wasn't, I actually, it wasn't, the first few minutes, it took us a while to settle in, and we had said it on Twitter, like, these players seemed to all have free roles. It was, like, all over the pitch. There was no organization. And that's where Daley Blind's got to step up a little bit and tell players where to be. He's the base of the diamond. He's the eyes going forward. He needs to start. And that's where a Hummels even would help organize the team. I don't think Wayne Rooney's a great team organizer. He's more of a leader by example. So, yeah, it was nervy moments at the beginning. There was a few opportunities for them. But, in the end, it's a comfortable victory. We play Preston in the next round. It will be a good game, hopefully. We might be in the quarterfinals without even playing a Premier League side, so I can't really argue with that.
Yeah, definitely. No, we can't argue with that at all. I mean, obviously a very comfortable win. Paddy McNair obviously playing at right back, and Marcus Rojo on the other side. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I was a bit surprised to see Paddy McNair play on the right today. We haven't seen. I don't think we've seen that before. But he did a pretty decent job there. I mean, he's still only 19. Could have a good future at Manchester United. There was talk of Luke Shaw's got a slight injury, which is a bit disappointing because he seems to be getting quite a few knocks, and I just hope that there isn't more to come from that. And I don't know where Valencia was if he was given the night off, and obviously Jones didn't play, so I don't know what your thoughts are on the back. At least we played a back four really. Most people don't really like the back three.
I think Rojo and McNair did a good job getting forward. Rojo obviously get his first goal for the club. It was a brilliant header by him. Good service by Van Persie. And, Rojo did his job. He gets stuck in. He's looking like one of our better signings, him and Daley Blind. They look like absolute steals for the price we got him for. And I thought Paddy McNair did fine today, too. He could have scored a goal. He had a nice volley where he told Wayne Rooney to leave. And then a couple minutes later, Wayne Rooney was in his way, and I made a joke. Paddy McNair telling Wayne Rooney, get the hell out of my way. So, yeah, I think, Paddy McNair can stay healthy, maybe get a run of games at right back. He's, Valencia is not the best right back, and Rafael never seems to stay fit, so maybe he'll offer us an option for the rest of the season, which is good to have. It was nice to see Paddy McNair play with some confidence today, too, which was great. Johnny Evans didn't have a bad game, so you can't, everybody slates him really hard. I don't think he did anything too terrible, and I don't think he did anything great. I think he switched to play a few times. He had some decent passes, and that you can't just talk crap on players when they perform to the standard you expect. You got to give them a little bit of a shout out. Chris Smalling did well. He had a mistake at the end, which was kind of upsetting. And that's typical Smalling. That's all of them. They always they do so well for so long, and then they do something really boneheaded, like Phil Jones did against Newcastle. He played a decent game against them, and then he gave away a penalty. And against the Leicester game, the back line played a good game, and then one moment of concentration, lapsed, and they got that goal. So, overall, I thought the back line did well today. David De Gea is starting to really worry me that he hasn't signed a contract yet. Even though I know a contract doesn't mean anything, and there's always, Real Madrid's always lurking. But hopefully some other goalkeeper will, step up and be amazing, and they'll go after him instead. Because I really want David De Gea to stay.
Yeah, it does look a bit worrying now. I see the reports that we may give him a new contract worth sort of 200,000 a week, but with a buyout clause in the contract. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen, but it does look to me as though he's probably going to be off in the summer, because if he really doesn't sign the new contract, we will have no choice at all but to sell him, and it's going to be a bit of a worry who we actually get in to replace him, because I don't really see that Victor Valdez is the long-term replacement, and I would have thought if he was confident being the long-term the successor to De Gea, then he would have probably played him in either of the um, games against Cambridge and either. So from that sort of, we think that he's not really that confident, and that he's only ever been brought in as a to get some minutes. I mean, he's a young talent and could blossom into quite a decent player for us,
Who's that
which is
now?
a
You
bit
got cut out for a
disappointing.
good minute.
Sorry?
You got cut out for a good minute on the connection. So whatever you were just saying, I would repeat again.
Oh, oh, sorry. Sorry, I was just. It was a bit disappointing that Adnan Januzaj couldn't play tonight. A slight knock. It would be nice to see him get a good run of games. Now he's staying at the club. Um, that period where he played about 3 or 4 games, he's never really got a decent run in the team this
Yeah, you're breaking up again, but I'll go on
season.
about Adnan Januzaj.
It
You
would
know,
be
I,
nice in the team.
I posted that link. There's a link for an ESPN FC article where it talks about how Louis Van Gaal has been impressed with Januzaj on the pitch and in the training ground, and that for now he's going to stick with him over Juan Mata, just in case he even said too, he was like, next week you will ask me why Juan Mata isn't playing, and it's because I choose Januzaj right now. So the little knock hopefully won't affect him, and I wouldn't be if he's available for selection, he will be picked against West Ham. So look out for the preview against West Ham. But for my man of the match today, I don't really have one. I would go with Juan Mata because he got the goal. He got us started on the score sheet, so he was my man of the match. What about you?
We go for one matter. I don't really see many standing out candidates for the man of the match today. I mean, there wasn't really. I mean, the other day it was probably a lot easier with Daley Blind, but I mean, Paddy McNair I thought had a decent game today. Um, but apart from that, there wasn't really many real standout players. I mean, Rojo's playing some decent stuff at the back. Looks like probably what, if not our best signing in the summer. I did say in the summer I thought he was could be a quality player for Manchester United, but that way.
It wouldn't be the same if we didn't have a little bit of connection issues. But if you can still hear me, comment on the video, like, subscribe, let us know who your man of the match was. We'll be doing a preview for the West Ham game soon. Follow us both on Twitter. We both have YouTube accounts. And if there's any other news, oh, look at that. I don't know what happened there, but we're still live. So I told everyone, comment, like, subscribe.
Anyway,
Let
I
us know
think
your
we'll
man of the
end it
match.
there because I think we've lost the connection from Joey. Anyway, we'll be back again for the next game against West Ham during the week sometime to preview that game. So stay tuned for that. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's game, and we'll be back again then. So we'll talk to you again soon.
That was crazy. You there?